Good morning, everybody, and thank you for coming to the Today's Restaurant News Networking Group. We are a group of vendors for the food service industry, and we are here to help each other in our businesses and to help any restaurateurs if they might have a question. And I just got a text on the side, and so again, I thank you all for coming. And what I'd like to do is just quickly introduce you to two new faces on the board today. Well, John and Gary, who are with Global Telecom Consultants. So good morning, guys, and tell us who you are, what you do, and how we can reach you.
Morning. My name is John Longobardi. I am the founder of Global Telecom Consultants. I've been in the telecom industry for around 23 years and highly successful in my career with building relationships and, being one of the top salespeople with whatever organization I worked with. I decided to form Global Telecom Consultants because I noticed that there was a need for a true consultative approach to technology, because for too long, we were just selling whatever products and solutions we had with the organization we worked for. And that's not the right way to do things for the customer. So what we decided to do was form the company, and we have relationship with every technology company basically in the world. So the way it works is we actually have those relationships and we actually bring quotes to the customer at no charge. And the company that we do business with pays us a commission. So we can come at it as a true consultative approach, because we're able to do what's right for the customer. And that's what I truly believe, doing the right thing for the right reason. And that's us in a nutshell. Thank you. And how could you reach us? Phone, email, our website, LinkedIn, Facebook, we're everywhere, and we are very responsive.
Okay, well, welcome aboard. Gary, you want to add anything?
Well, once again, just piggyback off of what John said. He summed it up pretty well. We thank you guys for having us.
Okay. For those of you who may be watching us on YouTube, on our YouTube page, which is Today's Restaurant, and you want to reach us, our telephone number is 561-620-8888, and our website is trnusa.com. And we have a returning face, Curtis. Good morning. Why don't you tell us who you are, what you do?
Good morning, Curtis. I'm with Key Creative Promotional Products. Help businesses create awareness for their brands, products, and services with the help of promotional products and apparel. Gifts and promotional items are ideal for keeping a brand's name in front of customers. There's a lot of great items out there. I work with a fish market right now. Instead of handing out reusable or plastic bags that are one-use items, they hand out like nice shopper totes, so people are continuing to use them with their logo in front of them as they go out shopping to the grocery stores and stuff like that. So yeah, just help businesses keep your name in front of people even after they've come to visit you with, like I said, gifts and promotional items. My website is allforpromos.com, because Key Creative is all for promos.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to Chris. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Chris Kaufman, C-H-R-I-S, Kaufman and Company. C-H-R-I-S spells Chris. It's also an acronym for clubs, hotels, restaurants, institutions, and sales. Since 1981, we've made placements in those 5 disciplines of the hospitality industry. Most of our work is in the restaurant world. We specialize in bringing all-star human capital to restaurant companies. And we work primarily throughout the Southeast United States. We are headquartered in Vidalia, Georgia, where the onions grow tall. And we recently placed a chef in Virginia. And we also have a chef interviewing in Atlanta today. And we also have a general manager interviewing in Atlanta. And so it's hiring season is well underway. Chris Kaufman, all-star talent. And the best way to reach us is very simple. 404 All-Star, 404-255-7827. You'd think with the privilege of having a number at 404 All-Star, I probably have some connections like with John Gary, but we just got lucky that day. Come back to see us. That's the news for right now.
All right, thank you. Ed, good morning.
I've got to follow that, huh?
Well, I was going to. I said, no, I'm not doing it.
Hey, Chris, I guess you're still stuck on the beach, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to promote my new product, though. There it is. I can't believe it's not vodka. So might be too early in the morning. I don't know.
The beach in Valdalia, Georgia. What a lovely scene. Just in the background there. Oh my God, I can see it right now. Amber waves of onions.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Oh my God. This is Ed Durkin with Seacoast Sales, located in Orange Park, Florida. We're an equipment supply company that specializes in frozen dessert equipment. So we have batch freezers, soft serve machines, display cases, mixed treatment machines, slushy machines, yogurt machines. Anyway, my number is 904-334-4489. And activity seems to be picking up there, Howard, right now for everything. Supply chain issues are going down. Containers coming from Italy are about a fifth of the price they were 6 months ago. So that's encouraging. But customs in this country is still a disaster as far as clearing customs, and truck availability in this country is still a problem.
Wow.
So when the container hits wherever it's going to, it still takes a week and a half to 2 weeks to clear customs and get a trailer to bring the container someplace. So that isn't alleviating. But inflation in Europe is still rampant compared to the United States, which isn't helping the pricing situation over there. So, and now with all the bank problems, I don't know what the people are going to do as far as raising interest rates, because now, in my opinion, if they keep raising the interest rates, that's going to cause more problems. So we'll see. Anyway, Ed Gerton with Seacoast Sales in Orange Park, Florida.
Great, thanks. Our conversation today, when we get through with our intros, it's going to touch on that. Okay. I wanted to mention to John and to Gary that at the end of this meeting, sometime this afternoon, I will send everybody a spreadsheet with everybody's contact information that is here this morning, so that, you know, if you miss a telephone number or a name or something, you'll get it in an email.
Howard, do you mind if I just go ahead and give my phone number out? I didn't realize.
Sure,
that's how you
sure.
Well,
sure, I was gonna double back to you guys anyway, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. My number is 954-664-9500. Thanks.
Great. Let's go to Steve. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Steve Whitehill. I'm a business broker. I help people buy and sell businesses. I also do business valuations and facilitate SBA financing. You can get me at 561-376-7500, and I encourage everybody to visit my website. It does some nice things, including help you find businesses, and even you have an ability to value a business yourself. Again, my phone number is 561-376-7500. My website is anchorbb.com.
Steve is our resident techie. Terry, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome to
Happy St. Patty's Day, everybody. I forgot to say that. I'm wearing the green.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I'm not, and I'm Irish.
I'm making the green.
Oh, now we're talking.
Hey, Chris, I dare you to put that up in front of your face walking around.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Well, no one's going to bother you, that's for sure.
They'd
have to be 10 feet tall. Anyways, welcome to the new gentleman. Nice to have you here. John, it's nice to have a face to a name. And what I do is handle the leads report, the monthly leads report. Once you take them, you have them every month for a year. They give you the owner's names, phone numbers, email addresses, where they are in their, I should say, we used to just put like UC for new construction. Now they do a little more digging to find out, well, have they got their permits yet? Are they in the planning stages? Are they looking for a property? You know, what's going on? And there's a lot of people in the groups that get these reports. So they're second to none. And we're very, very proud to say that, because it's a very hard job for many people. And my staff is, I have a great staff. But anyways, and a lot of outdoor help, driving around, go through parking lots that will just, you know, help as well in different states, Georgia and Florida. So if anybody wants a sample of what's upcoming, coming into Florida, that's never been here before, which I'm very happy about. A lot of stuff moving in here. Just send me an email, Terry, Terri, at trnusa.com, or just go on our website and sign up. Thank you. Everybody have a good St. Patty's Day.
Okay, thank you. Brian, good morning.
Good morning. Before I jump in, I wanted to comment on Ed's thing about, I guess, you know, the port thing and some supply chains and everything. And then on my side is, you know, what I do is I'm in commercial equipment financing. Okay. So there's expectation. I had a client yesterday. Their expectations was no money down, you know, going to get a great rate. I'm like, okay, well, the rate wasn't that bad. It was about 9%. They had personal credit, but no business credit. Okay. So I was dealing with the husband. The wife was not even in the business. She had nothing to do with it. I get a call from her and she reams me. I'm like, I don't have any money to put a payment down. I'm like, okay, all right. So I guess I shouldn't give you a loan, right? I didn't say that to her, but these people, and they expect so much as far as on the financing side. Like I have another client told me she had no money, but credit's crappy. I want to open a restaurant. Then why? And she says, well, I've already signed the landlord agreement. Okay, great. All right. So you're going to be stuck with this lease on this restaurant, right? But you can't open because you can't get financed, and then you can't pay the bill. So there seems to be, I've had lately a run of some really bad clients that have high expectations. But then I say to them, I don't say to them, but as I say, beggars can't be choosers. And it's just,
hello.
Yeah. So I just wanted to share my little frustration. You know, I know Ed tries to get equipment from overseas and things like that. But what I do, I work for Rogue Financial Group. We're a commercial equipment financing company. We finance all different types of equipment. I basically, most of it, I focus in the hospitality, which could be restaurants, franchises, breweries. I do a lot of work with convenience stores. I do a lot with food trucks. Again, it's commercial equipment financing. We do a lot of startups, existing business, and again, Brian, we're Rogue Financial Group. I can be reached at 404-723-7222. Thanks.
Brian, you said something, and I'm going to agree with you. A lot of times dealing with people who are going to want to open up a pastry shop or an ice cream store, I wound up talking to one person and getting that information. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, there's another partner that shows up and just starts raising hell because it's too expensive, or they need something different. They need this, they need that. And it disintegrates real fast. Let's put it that way.
That's why guys who sell impact windows or kitchen remodeling always have the husband and the wife present at the initial presentation. So that doesn't happen.
But
You gotta get all the Indians at the meeting, all the chiefs in the meeting the first time, so you don't have to go through that.
Well, the part of the problem is I really don't know who I'm dealing with a lot of times, because I get an email or a phone call from somebody saying they're opening up the store and I need this information so I can go to my bank, or I got to do this. And then I bring sometimes Brian along with that. And then, like I said, I get whacked later on 3 or 4 weeks down the line because somebody else doesn't like something, or they went to the bank and the bank doesn't approve them.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of a sudden an investor comes out of the woodwork, who's up in New York, and he wants to hear it all over again. I know. I've been through that.
It's like buying a car, same thing. The guy gets you all ready, and in comes the boss. And you look at him and you go, there's no negotiation. This is the price. And they just sit down and they keep going. But
the last time I bought a car, I told Terry to stay home. I'm gonna do this myself. And when the guy didn't want to give me what I wanted, I said, "Now I have to leave because you don't want to get down below the certain price." They said, "You want to deal with my wife? I'll call her. You can talk to her."
Yeah.
And she let him have it, and he gave it to me.
One thing
go ahead.
Oh, no, I just wanted to piggyback off of what you were saying. One of the biggest benefits of working with us is that when a new business opens, they can reach out to us and we could bring them 3 different quotes to whatever technologies they need to make sure that they're getting the best price and the best solution for that business. That's and like I said, it's at no cost. So, for those companies that are just starting out and need to make sure that they, spend every dime that they have very, smartly, this is definitely a no-brainer.
Oh, for sure.
I want to comment on something real quick. We talk about, husbands and wives being involved, a lot of stuff in business. This goes back to I guess 99, 2000. I was in the POS business. This guy opened up a restaurant, sold my POS. Before we even had the first one open, it was already on the second, third. So I said to my buddy, I says, this restaurant won't even make it. The other 2 won't even get open, and they'll end up in divorce. And sure enough, the restaurants, 2 of them didn't get open. He opened up. He was open for about 3 months, closed it, got divorced. It's like, yeah. So
yeah, sometimes from the outside you could see it coming like a freight train.
Well, I mean, I met the wife, and she was, they were constantly bumping heads, and yeah, it was just, it's what it is. So, but yeah.
Ready to go. Okay, thanks. Let's get Joe Cregan.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Brian, we're on that subject. Can you get Canadians done who don't have a social? They don't even have an ITIN number.
I'm sorry?
Can you get Canadian citizens opening restaurants in the U.S. done without an ITIN number? They only have a business visa, no social security number.
I've done it before, but it's tricky.
Yeah. I can't even get them approved for credit cards. TD Bank is going to get all that business because out of Canada.
I deal with a fair number of foreign nationals, so I run into a similar problem all the time. But I have 2 suggestions. One, they can get an ITIN number, and they should do that as soon as possible.
Right.
And the other thing is the way to get the credit cards are a real problem, but the way I tell my people, and they can really start doing this before they even come to the U.S., get the prepaid credit cards. I'm not talking about the gift credit cards, but the credit cards where you put in a balance and you can use anything up to the balance, they get billed, you refill it and so on. That does build up credit, and within
I'm trying to get them set up to process credit cards in the restaurant.
But you need them to have
I need to have a credit score.
But that'll help them get the credit score.
Right. Oh yeah, you're right. Okay. Exactly. So they bought a house. They bought a house in Port St. Lucie.
House is easy. I know that sounds real strange. But I can't get them a loan to buy a business, but they want to buy a $3 million house. That's a piece of cake.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a big problem. Anyway, I'm Joe Cregan with Card Payment Services, just west of Fort Lauderdale Airport here in Dade, Florida. As I alluded to, I set up merchants to process payments. I set them up to process credit cards, electronic checks. I also, and that's through Fiserv, which used to be First Data. I also offer ADP payroll to some of our restaurant clients where we sell it for them. But our main business is credit card processing and POS systems. So we sell the cash registers or the POS terminals, usually Android-based systems called Clover, and another one called Adelo that can send the orders to the kitchen, the printers, the screens, manage their labor costs, manage their inventory, and of course, process payments. We support about between 750, 800 locations, about 50, 60% of the restaurants here in Florida. And I operate through a telemarketer, myself here in South Florida, another rep in Orlando, covering Central Florida, and about 50 to 70, 1099 reps across the country. My website is www.cardpaymentservices.net. And my office number is 954-635-5044. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Didn't miss anybody, right? Okay, I'm gonna I'll double back. John and Gary, anything you want to add?
No, I'm good. But Gary, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and leave your phone number as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess I hadn't done that, have I? So yes, my name is Gary Shelton. I'm with Global Telecom Consultants as well with John. My number is 941-587-1719.
And one thing I do want to add is we are able to work anywhere in the world as far as technology goes. So we're not just, we can only sell in Florida. We can work in anywhere that there's technology, anywhere that the organizations that we have agreements with are able to work, we can work as well.
Oh, great. Okay. I'm Howard Appel. I'm the founder and publisher of today's Restaurant News.
You're Howard Appel?
I'm sorry?
You're Howard, right?
Oh, wait, let me check. Imagine I've been doing this since 1996. And
you still haven't gotten it right?
No, we're still working on
it. Steve,
you guys are really throwing me off.
Well, I just chimed in. I mean, I couldn't help it.
That's okay.
All right, speak amongst yourselves. No. If you'd like to attend one of our meetings in our Comedy Fest, or if you're a restaurateur and have a problem that you'd like to bring up, or you could email it to us, or you could call us with it, or you can come to the meeting and bring it up. Our telephone number is 561-620-8888, and the website is trnusa.com. And just one thing I want to just touch on real quickly before we get into the topic for today is that there is a program out there that most of you know about, but it's not, it's so available and it's so unbelievable that people aren't really taking advantage of it. And it's the ERC, the ERC tax refund. That's something that every restaurateur, if they have been open during the pandemic and they continue to pay their employees, they should actually apply for it and get a refund. It's not bogus. It's not fairy tale. It's a government program, and you will get money back on your taxes. And I'm working with many clients at the moment in the restaurant industry. And one of my old friends who's in the industry, I got him back $170,000.
Wow. Yeah. How many employees do you have? How many employees? I
think he had 5 or 6.
Really? I had 3. I only got 45,000.
No, see, Joe's right there. I mean, the money is there, so don't leave it on the table. Wow.
And it's not a loan. It is not anything you have to pay back.
So if you're interested to find out more about it, go to my website. It's trnusa.com. And in the upper panel, there's a red bar. Just click on that. There's a little application, which is nothing more than your contact information. Just fill that out, and I'll have one of my associates give you a call, and they'll hold your hand through the whole process. We're not going to just tell you to do it and drop it. We'll walk you through it and make it easy. I mean, it is a little bit of work. You got to get together your financial papers and all that. But for the money that you get back, it wasn't that bad, was it, Joe?
No, and I deal with my the same people you deal with. No, you got to get your if you're using QuickBooks or ADP for your payroll, or even doing it yourself, you got to get I think it's the 941s or the I something forms, I6 forms for 2020, 21. Get that to him, and they send that into the IRS and do the calculations and all that stuff.
Right now, it's taking about 6 to 8 months to get your money.
Yeah.
So,
exactly
the sooner you get started, you're going to be around. And even if you're listening now and you went out of business, but you were open during that time period, you're still eligible to apply. So I don't want to take the whole meeting on it, but it's something I just encourage everybody to do, because it's something that's it's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, and it's going to be ending soon, so you better do quick. I think it's going to be ending within 12 to 18 months.
Yeah, the way the economy is and everything. Yeah, the money's going to disappear.
Well, Howard, you're working with a lot of restaurateurs.
I'm working with
a lot of things going on in the work. So
I've got $17 million of refunds in process.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is not a small little thing, This is the whole enchilada. So
yeah.
Get your free money while you can.
Hey, I did a mail or email blast to about 10,000 restaurants. I got on that. I got no response. Absolutely no response. I can't do email like you can. I get no response. And I'm trying to push it through my sales reps, as an incentive to get the credit card business and the payroll business, really. Because if you're doing the payroll, I got all the information already.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
If I do the payroll, I have all that data. If I did it back then, 2020, 2021. But there's no reason not to. If you're interested in it, as Howard said, I would move quick, because I don't think this program is going to last forever. And it's based on sales and payroll during COVID. So if you were open or in business during COVID and you had employees, I don't think you can count yourself.
No.
Right.
It was how many employees, Howard?
I got 45K back, and I think I had, at that time, including myself, maybe 4 or 5 employees, but 2 of them were part-time, I think.
Yeah, they're looking for a minimum of 5 employees. But
I didn't have that many, but I got.
But I've heard of people.
I had 6 at one time, but that included myself and a couple of part-timers. But I got 45K back.
Well, it's worth taking a look at. It doesn't cost
all you had to
anything.
do is send in your payroll forms.
Yeah, it doesn't cost anything to find out.
Payroll, your quarterly withholdings, your quarterly tax reports. I think it was the IT. There's a name for them. I can look it up. IT, the 941s, and the I6 forms. I think it is. So if ADP or QuickBooks is doing your payroll, you already have that data.
All right. Well, thanks, Joe. Through our discussion today, we've discussed a lot of these points, and we just discussed it this morning as well. But this article that I came across, and it could be one of those AI-generated articles, but it says, how have supply chain disruptions affected the restaurant industry so far in 2023? Ed mentioned it earlier, and Ed has his finger on the pulse of that one, because he deals with companies over in Europe. But I'm just going to summarize this, and then we can talk about it. The current state of the restaurant industry is dealing with factors that are affecting everyone in the business, and the highlights of that. Number one is the rising food cost. 92% of restaurants said that food costs have become a significant issue so far this year. And we know that. once that happens, you get the boomerang effect of higher menu prices. That trend will continue, and that's almost like a self-defeating problem. Because customers see the higher prices, they may get priced out of a certain category of eating in their restaurant, and they drop out, and customers get lost. And of course, we have the labor problem, the labor shortage, the help wanted. Now, this is interesting. 500,000 new workers are expected to join the restaurant industry in 2023. That sounds like a lot to me.
Where did that come from?
This is from the National Restaurant Association.
What have they been? Never mind, we're recording.
And then the more industry competition, 47% of restaurant owners expect competition to be fiercer in 2023. I think that comes from a lot of consolidations, a lot of mergers, a lot of buyouts. And one other factor on that also is that when a restaurant closes, and Steve could probably talk about this, when a restaurant closes, let's say there's a Mexican restaurant in a 22,000 square foot or 4,000 square foot restaurant, they've got a full kitchen set up. The exhaust hood is in, everything, and the landlord might have ownership of the equipment. So opening up a restaurant for the next guy, which may be an Italian restaurant, maybe it could be a luncheonette or a coffee shop, all the basics are there. So it reduces their output and reduces their expenses. So more restaurants will come in. There's always somebody behind the one that went out. And I've been in this industry for over 30 years, and that's the way it's always been. But now there's more to choose from. And the essential food shortages that have been experiencing are obviously with grains because of the war in Ukraine, the availability of meat and the prices of meat going up, and cooking oil. Russia and Ukraine are a huge supplier of cooking oil. I didn't know it was Russia. And of course, the staffing out struggles, which are being, staffing problems are the seed of the robotic industry. Robots are coming in and being used as runners, and even advanced. They're being used now to cook pizza, to cook French fries, to cook hamburgers. But so what can a restaurant owner do to overcome these problems? And there's a couple of things here. So I'm going to ask that question to you. What do you see that a restaurant owner can do to overcome these problems? And I have some things here. So if you touch on it, I'll expand on it. So the floor is open. Don't all answer at once. Well, what they say is that the importance of relationships remain. If your vendors, if you have a good relationship with your vendors, if you're a good restaurant operator, you'll have relationships with your customers, and that's really important. Here's one for John and for Gary. Constant communication, and on all facets of it. The ease and speed of communication between vendors and restaurants. On a Friday afternoon, if a restaurant's running low on whatever it is, and he needs to get a hold of his supplier, he's got to do it the quickest and most efficient, and get it done.
I think that's probably true. If you have a good relationship and you're paying your bill to, the broadliner or whatever, or even smaller guys, whatever, I think you're going to get pretty good customer service because, you pay your bills. You're probably going to get a little favor here and there as far as like maybe a discount on the food a little bit, but, and another thing as far as going back what you're saying about restaurants, I think some of them are running scared. I mean, they're stealing from Peter and Paul, maybe pay Mary once in a while. So,
well, we heard that, and I was watching a show, a Fox Business Report, and several of the commentators were saying, you're hopeful for 2023, 24. However, what has happened in 21 and now 22 especially will carry into 23 and 24. And it should start a little bit after that, but I'm not optimistic as much as things really clearing up this year. I think that the extension of the problems, the water shortages, the cattle they had to put down, the chickens that they had to put down globally, bringing the egg prices to ridiculous amounts of money, and people not having, the incomes you can't overcome not having enough money to pay for something. You can overcome everything else, but not that.
In what you do for us at Today's Restaurant News with the Leads Report, you see how many restaurants and how many chains are opening. So, somehow I think they're getting past that problem. I think they're opening, and they'll continue to open. Whether they're successful is something else, but they will continue to open.
Oh yeah, they will continue to open. I'm talking global food shortages, not able to get into ports, oceans drying up, not being able to get across with your cargo ships, a lot of stuff going on right now. And people are, I'm not a doom and gloomer, but I do look at the facts. Where Howard on the other end will overlook the facts and go for the positives, which there is a lot of positive, but you've got to be realistic at the same time. And yes, there are a lot of restaurants opening, and I have no idea how doing it. There are people coming in and so many into Florida. I mean, this is insane. We've got, there were 80 leads last month. There's another 80 this month. There was 78 the month before of brand new restaurants. And that's only one state. That's a lot. And many of these are not chains. Wow. They're franchises, or they're, somebody opened a second, a third, a fourth, mom and pop places. But you're getting also a lot of, like, there's a place here called The Hub at Bexley. This is in Land O'Lakes. Now, Land O'Lakes is way out there. But let me tell you something. They got this new hub that's going to be opening later in 2023. And they're right now building this gigantic hub of micro restaurants and breweries. And they're all adding these outdoor seats and gardens where dogs can run and people can just sit there and drink. So they're going to continually buy snacks, drinks, and foods. So there are a lot of micro food halls. I mean, the more that I get from people and firms, PR firms, I'm shocked. There are a lot. Howard is correct. There are a lot coming in.
But what you're seeing is what I'm seeing too. There are a lot of people that are moving from the north to the south and from the west to the east.
Correct.
And that is key for the development of all these things, if I can say it that way.
Correct.
California right now, because of the weather, there's people complaining in California, there's too much snow, there's too much wind, there's too much this, there's too much that. So I can't build anything. So that I'm hearing that from people in California. The same thing is up in Ohio. Oh, the people are going to build this, but they've decided that it's not economically feasible to do that. And that's because there's people up there that are moving from New York to Florida, to Tennessee, to the Carolinas, to Georgia, and from California going to Texas, Nevada, and Arizona.
In California, their taxes are ridiculous. My son lives there, and he's buying a house now at a ridiculously high price. And yeah, it's a house. It's huge, and it's got, you know, big 4-car garage and all of that. But he's trying to wait for the prices to come down. And I said, Chris, they're not going to come down. Your interest rates are going up. Just refi and, you know, whatever. But the California historically, I mean, you go out to eat there and forget it. Every time we go, I mean, you want to come back to Florida because the prices are, Brian, don't you dare raise your eyebrows. Anyways, I'm telling you, it's the taxes, Ed, in California are insane. Nobody can afford to live there. They really cannot afford to live there.
Well,
and the people in LA don't even have air conditioning, and it's like 120 sometimes. It's horrible, and they're piled on top of each other.
Yeah. Again, what I'm seeing is that there's a lot of people in Florida here who are from New Jersey and New York and Connecticut who are moving down here, and they're bringing some of the things they like to do, like ice cream, gelato. In the South,
to the East Coast. The Midwesterners are going to the West Coast.
And see, part of the difference is in Florida, if you told somebody gelato 5 years ago, 10 years ago, they would have no idea what you're talking about. And you have to say Italian ice cream. Oh, okay. But now you have people moving from the North coming down here who know what gelato is, and they don't like American ice cream. They want gelato.
Right. You're exactly right.
So it's a little cultural change too. Right. If I can say it that way.
That's a really good point. The pandemic and everything else that came afterwards is causing a cultural shift.
That's true. Absolutely.
I don't know the pandemic as much as the younger. There's clearly a very big generational difference that's going on. And the impact of that is yet to be seen.
Yeah, like the kids who were 16 when the pandemic started are now 18, 19, and now they're becoming the consumers.
Well,
and they demand new. I mean, they're all technologically oriented. Gary and John, you know, and to some extent, you and I, you know, we deal with that.
Yeah, our 8-year-old granddaughter took my phone and changed all my passwords. And my Face ID to hers. I said, okay, Sophie, how am I supposed to get in? She goes, well, I'll just come over and let you in whenever you want on. I go, really?
Oh my God.
You know what? Our son-in-law has 4 daughters. You know what he told them? You have to lower your expectations. I lied to you. You're not a princess. All right, we've come to the witching hour. I want to thank everybody for coming today. Gary, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Hope you'll continue to come. And
absolutely, thanks for having us. John had to drop, but on behalf of both of us, I want to extend my thanks.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
And Curtis, we got to get you on board. And all right, so we'll see you all next week. Have a great St. Paddy's Day.
Okay.
If you're drinking, have somebody else drive. As long, yeah. Good luck with that one. And
hey, I'm the Irish one, and I drive. So
we'll see you next week again. 561-620-8888 if you want to reach us.
Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.